my precious little lambs. Have you ever been told you're too little to do something really important?
Well, today we have the most amazing story about what Jesus thinks about children just like you. And I promise, what happens next will fill your heart with so much joy. Long ago, there were some children who wanted to meet Jesus more than anything in the whole world, but someone tried to stop them. Let's see what happened. Jesus was teaching a big crowd of grown-ups about God's amazing love. People came from villages far and wide to hear his wonderful words. But look over there. Do you see those excited little faces peeking through the crowd? Mothers and fathers had brought their precious children because they wanted Jesus to bless them and pray for them. The children were so excited. Some were bouncing up and down, others were whispering, "Is that really Jesus?"
Can you imagine how excited you would be to meet Jesus? What would you want to say to him?
But as the families got closer, something sad happened. The disciples, Jesus' helpers, saw the children coming and put up their hands to stop them.
Wait, Jesus is too busy teaching important grown-up things.
These children will just make noise and interrupt the lesson.
Oh no, look at those sweet little faces. The children felt so sad and disappointed. Their parents looked hurt and frustrated too. The disciples thought they were helping Jesus, but they were actually missing something very, very important about Jesus' heart.
How do you think those children felt? Have you ever felt left out because someone said you were too little?
But Jesus saw exactly what was happening, and something amazing occurred. Jesus stopped teaching the grown-ups and looked right at his disciples with love, but also correction in his eyes.
Let the little children come to me, and do not stop them. The kingdom of heaven belongs to people just like these precious children.
Can you hear the power and love in Jesus' voice? He wasn't just allowing the children to come, he was inviting them. He wanted them there. And then, the most beautiful thing happened. Jesus opened his arms wide and the children came running. Jesus knelt down to their eye level, showing them they were just as important as any grown-up. He took the tiny babies gently in his arms and blessed them with the softest touches. He listened carefully to what the older children wanted to tell him. He laughed and played with the excited toddlers. Every single child felt completely loved, completely accepted, and completely important to Jesus. The parents couldn't believe it. Their children, their precious little ones, were the most important people to Jesus in that whole crowd.
So what does this incredible story mean for you, my dear little lambs?
Jesus thinks you are incredibly important exactly as you are right now. Not when you grow up, but today. Your prayers and thoughts matter to Jesus. You don't have to wait until you're older to talk to God. When grown-ups seem too busy for you, remember that Jesus always has time for you. Always. You belong in God's family today, this very moment. Your faith is just as powerful as any adult's. And for all the mommies and daddies watching with their little ones, Jesus shows us something beautiful. How we treat children shows how well we understand God's loving heart. When we make time for children, we're making time for Jesus' highest priorities. Sometimes children's simple, trusting faith teaches us grown-ups the most important lessons about believing in God. Your child's spiritual questions are just as important as any adult's. Never think they're too young to understand God's love. The most amazing part of this story is that it changed how the entire world sees children forever. Before this day, many people thought children weren't important enough to bother important teachers or leaders. But Jesus showed everyone that children are God's most precious treasures.
Unless you become like little children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven.
Jesus was telling the grown-ups that children have something very special. Hearts that trust completely, love without limits, and believe with pure faith.
Can you think of a way you can help another child feel welcomed and special today?
What an incredible reminder that you are loved, valued, and welcomed by Jesus every single day.
This beautiful story is part of our Jesus Teaches Love series. If you loved learning about how much Jesus cares for children, you'll absolutely love our next story about Jesus and the lost sheep, where Jesus shows us he'll never give up looking for us.
Don't forget to subscribe to our Little Lamb family so you never miss these amazing Bible stories that fill your heart with God's love. Let's end with a special prayer together.
Dear Jesus, thank you for showing us that we are incredibly important to you, no matter how young or small we are. Help us remember that we can always come to you with our thoughts, questions, and prayers, and help us make other children feel as welcomed and loved as you make us feel. Amen.
Remember, precious little lambs, you are never too small, never too young, and never too unimportant for Jesus. He welcomes you with open arms every single day.
Until our next Bible adventure together, keep shining God's love everywhere you go. Bye-bye!